Have you ever woken up in the morning and felt like your feet just aren't quite there? Maybe they feel numb or tingly, or even like they're wrapped in cotton. You're not imagining things, and you're definitely not alone. Millions of older adults across the country experience that strange, disconnected feeling in their feet, especially at night or after sitting too long. Most of us chalk it up to aging. Maybe we think, well, it's just poor circulation, or it's what happens when you get older. But what if that's not the full story? What if something you're eating, yes, something sitting right on your dinner plate, is quietly making it worse? Today, I want to open your eyes to a surprising connection between what you eat and how your feet feel. Because believe it or not, certain vegetables, yes, even the ones you've always been told are good for you, may actually be irritating your nerves and increasing that numb, tingling sensation in your legs and feet. Now I know what you're thinking. How can vegetables be bad? Aren't they supposed to be healthy? And you're absolutely right to ask that. In most cases, vegetables are powerhouses of nutrition. But here's the twist: some of these so-called superfoods may contain natural compounds that quietly trigger inflammation, disrupt circulation, and worsen nerve sensitivity, especially in adults over 60. It's not about junk food or processed snacks. Those are the obvious culprits. What we're talking about today are vegetables that hide behind a healthy label but may actually be contributing to your discomfort without you even knowing it. In this video, we're going to reveal 3 common vegetables that could be secretly fueling the nerve pain and numbness in your feet. One of them is a kitchen staple you've probably eaten this week. Another is often added to smoothies and touted for its health benefits. And the third? It might just be on your plate every holiday season. We're not here to scare you or tell you to throw out all your produce. Our goal is to help you understand your body better, because when you know the root of the problem, you can finally start to feel better. And for many seniors, that starts with what's on your plate. So if you've been wondering why your feet feel strange, cold, or numb, even when the rest of your body is fine, stay with us. You might just discover that the answer has been hiding in plain sight. Let's dive in and take the first step toward feeling your feet again. Now, let's take this a step deeper, because what you're feeling in your feet may not be just a nerve issue. In fact, numbness isn't always caused by nerve damage. Sometimes it's your body reacting to something far more subtle and far more surprising: your diet. That's right, what you eat every day could be either soothing your nerves or slowly making them worse. As we age, our circulation naturally slows down. That's not your fault, it's just part of the body's normal wear and tear. But here's the thing most people don't realize: your nerves, especially the ones in your legs and feet, depend on a steady flow of oxygen and nutrients to function properly. When circulation slows, nerves become vulnerable. They don't get the fuel they need. And that's when things start to go a little haywire: tingling, numbness, even that odd sensation like your feet are buzzing or half asleep. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Some of the foods we're told to eat more of, the ones with heart-healthy labels or superfood status, may actually be quietly interfering with your nerve signals. It's not about calories or fat. It's about natural compounds inside. These foods that, for some older adults, can stir up inflammation or block the nutrients your nerves are desperately trying to absorb. Now, let me be clear, this doesn't happen to everyone. But if you're over 60, if you've been dealing with strange foot sensations, or if you're already living with conditions like diabetes, arthritis, or poor circulation, you could be more sensitive than you realize. Think of your nerves like a garden hose. When blood flows easily, everything works smoothly. But when something crimps the line, like low circulation or inflammatory foods, your nerves get thirsty. They can't send clear signals. That's when you start noticing those odd, frustrating symptoms in your feet. And the most frustrating part, you might be doing all the right things, eating salads, Adding greens to your smoothies, avoiding sugar, and still wondering why your feet feel worse. Not better. That's why we're peeling back the curtain in this video. Because the first step to healing your nerves isn't just medication or exercise, it's awareness. Awareness of how certain healthy foods might actually be working against you. Not for you. So in just a moment, we're going to look at the first surprising vegetable on our list. You've probably eaten it hundreds of times. It's colorful, antioxidant rich, and often praised for heart health. But for your feet, it might be telling a different story. Let's take a closer look. Alright, let's talk about the first surprising vegetable on our list, one that's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. It's colorful, juicy, packed with antioxidants, and it might be irritating your nerves more than you think. I'm talking about tomatoes. Now, I know tomatoes have long been praised for their health benefits. They're rich in lycopene, good for your heart, and may even reduce the risk of certain cancers. You'll find them in sauces, salads, sandwiches, and stews. But here's what most people don't know. Tomatoes belong to a plant family called nightshades. And that's where the problem begins. Nightshades, which also include eggplants, bell peppers, and white potatoes, contain natural chemicals called alkaloids. One in particular, solanine, has been shown to trigger inflammation in certain people. And if you've ever struggled with arthritis, joint pain, or nerve sensitivity, these alkaloids could be quietly fueling the very symptoms you're trying to ease. It's like trying to put out a fire while unknowingly pouring a little gasoline on it each day. Let me paint a picture. You're doing everything right. You stretch, you walk, you take your supplements, and yet, that numbness or tingling just won't let up. It might not be your nerves failing. It could be your body reacting to that bowl of tomato soup you had for lunch, or that side of roasted potatoes, or that healthy grilled veggie sandwich loaded with bell peppers. There's even science to back this up. A study published in the journal Inflammapharmacology found that in people with autoimmune conditions or chronic nerve stress, nightshades may raise inflammatory markers, meaning more swelling, more nerve pressure, and more discomfort. Now, does this mean everyone has to quit tomatoes forever? Not necessarily. But if you're over 60 and dealing with unexplained foot numbness, it's worth a little experiment. Try cutting out nightshades just for 2 weeks. See how your feet respond. Many older adults report clearer sensations, better balance, and a surprising return of warmth in their toes. And here's the good news. You don't have to say goodbye to tomatoes forever. Cooking them, whether you're roasting, boiling, or simmering, reduces their alkaloid content, making them gentler on your system. It's not about fear. It's about listening to your body. Because sometimes the key to feeling better isn't adding more. It's removing the hidden irritants that are quietly getting in the way. And in this case, the villain might just be that fresh tomato salsa you thought was doing you a favor. But we're just getting started. If you think tomatoes are surprising, wait until you hear what's next. It's a leafy green you've probably eaten this week, and it's one of the most recommended vegetables for older adults. But for your nerves, it might be doing more harm than good. Let's dive into it. Now, let's turn to the second surprising health food that might be causing more harm than good, especially for your nerves. It's a leafy green that's been praised for decades, promoted by doctors, dietitians, and even cartoon characters like Popeye. That's right, we're talking about spinach. Spinach is often seen as the gold standard of healthy eating. It's rich in iron, calcium, and loaded with vitamins that help the body in countless ways. But here's the hidden catch: spinach is also extremely high in oxalates. Now you might be wondering, what are oxalates and why should I care? Oxalates are natural compounds found in many plant foods. On the surface, they sound harmless, but inside your body, they can cause serious problems. Oxalates bind to calcium, preventing your body from absorbing it properly. And over time, these compounds can build up in your bloodstream. When that happens, they don't just sit quietly. Oxalates can irritate tissues, stress your kidneys, And most importantly for today's topic, influence your nerves. You may not feel it as sharp pain. It may sneak in as a dull numbness in your toes, a strange cold sensation in your feet even when the room is warm, or that odd wrapped in cotton feeling when you walk. These aren't random signs of getting older. These are signals your body trying to tell you something's off. And it's not just spinach. Swiss chard and beet greens are also high in oxalates. If you're eating large quantities of these vegetables raw, maybe in smoothies, salads, or daily meals, you could be slowly increasing your body's oxalate load without even realizing it. A 2019 study in clinical nutrition research confirmed that diets high in oxalates can worsen symptoms of neuropathy, especially in people who already have kidney stress, diabetes, or metabolic syndrome, which, let's face it, describes many of us as we get older. So what's the solution? Do you need to give up greens altogether? Absolutely not. The key is in how you prepare them. Cooking spinach, whether you blanch it, steam it, or lightly saute it in olive oil, dramatically reduces its oxalate content, making it safer and easier for your body to handle. You can also rotate your greens. Try adding in lower oxalate options like arugula, romaine, or baby kale. These greens are still rich in nutrients, but much gentler on your nerves and kidneys. Remember, this isn't about restriction, it's about understanding what your body needs. Because when you stop flooding your system with hidden irritants, something amazing starts to happen. That disconnected feeling begins to fade. Blood flows more freely. Nerves begin to wake up, and you feel more like yourself again. So next time you reach for a handful of spinach for your smoothie or your dinner plate, pause for a moment and ask, how are my feet feeling lately? And if the answer is cold, tingly, or strange, you just might be onto something. Now let's move to the final vegetable on our list, one that's in nearly every kitchen, tastes great in every form, but might be sabotaging your circulation more than you think. All right, here comes the third and final surprise, and honestly, it might be the most unexpected of all. This vegetable is a comfort food, a dinner table classic. You've likely enjoyed it baked, mashed, roasted, or fried for most of your life. It's mild, satisfying, and shows up in everything from stews to holiday feasts. But for your nerves and your circulation, white potatoes may be a quiet but serious problem. Here's why. White potatoes have a very high glycemic index. That means as soon as you eat them, your body converts them rapidly into sugar glucose. And while that spike might give you a brief energy boost, it also creates a dangerous cycle called glycemic stress. Think of glycemic stress like a roller coaster your body doesn't want to be on. Every time your blood sugar jumps quickly, your body releases a wave of insulin to bring it back down. But over time, repeated spikes wear out your system. This constant up and down leads to inflammation, damages blood vessels, and most importantly, it deprives your nerves of the oxygen and nutrients they rely on to function. That's when symptoms start to creep in. Cold feet, tingling for no reason, a heavy or dead feeling in your legs after meals. You might think it's just fatigue or aging, but in reality, your nerves could be crying out for help. Now, here's the kicker. Even if you're not diabetic, this process can still harm your nerves. In fact, it's so common there's a name for it. Diabetic neuropathy, and you don't need to have diabetes to experience similar symptoms. And let's not forget, white potatoes are also part of the nightshade family, just like tomatoes and eggplants. That means they contain the same alkaloids we mentioned earlier, natural compounds that can trigger inflammation and stress the nervous system even further. So with white potatoes, you're getting a double hit: a fast blood sugar spike and a dose of inflammatory compounds. For seniors dealing with nerve issues, that's a combination worth avoiding. But here's the good news: there are simple, delicious alternatives that your body will thank you for. Swap out white potatoes for sweet potatoes. They're rich in fiber, lower on the glycemic index, and packed with beta-carotene, which actually supports nerve healing. They still give you that warm, satisfying feeling without the sugar crash. Or try mashed cauliflower. When seasoned and prepared right, it's creamy, comforting, and far kinder to your nervous system. You can still enjoy your favorite meals. You're just upgrading the ingredients to better support your body. Because at the end of the day, it's not about giving things up. It's about making choices that move you forward. So the next time you feel that familiar numbness in your feet, think back to what was on your plate. The answer might be softer than you expect, but its effect on your health could be powerful. Now that we've uncovered all three of these surprising vegetables, what comes next is just as important. Because avoiding what harms you is only half the battle. The other half, giving your nerves what they truly need to heal and thrive. Let's explore that next. So now you know, some of the foods you thought were helping might actually be holding you back. But here's the good news. Avoiding those triggers is only half the equation. The other half? It's about what you choose to add to your plate. Foods that support circulation, calm inflammation, and gently bring your nerves back to life. Because your nerves aren't gone. They're not broken. They're simply waiting for the right support, the right nourishment, the right chance to heal. Let's talk about the foods that do just that. First up, beets. These bright red root vegetables are more than just colorful, they're powerful. Beets contain natural nitrates, which help expand your blood vessels and improve circulation, especially to your hands and feet. When your blood flows better, your nerves get the oxygen they need to work properly. Just a few slices of roasted beet in your salad or a glass of beet juice can make a real difference over time. Next, let's talk about omega-3 fatty acids found in foods like wild salmon, walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds. These healthy fats are some of your nervous system's best friends. They help reduce inflammation, protect your nerves, and rebuild the myelin sheath, the protective layer that helps nerves send signals clearly and efficiently. Then there's magnesium, a mineral that many seniors are low in without even realizing it. Magnesium helps calm overactive nerves, improve circulation, and regulate blood sugar, all crucial for keeping your feet feeling connected and alive. You'll find it in foods like avocados, leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, and almonds. One of the most important nutrients for nerve health, especially as you age, is vitamin B12. This one's a big deal. B12 helps regenerate nerve tissue, boost energy, and build red blood cells that carry oxygen to every corner of your body, including your feet. The problem is, as we get older, our ability to absorb B12 naturally declines. That's why so many older adults are deficient without knowing it. You can get B12 from eggs, fish, poultry, and fortified cereals. And if you're eating mostly plant-based, a simple B12 supplement might be the game changer your nerves have been waiting for. Now, let's talk about something almost everyone overlooks: hydration. It may sound simple, but dehydrated nerves don't function well. Your blood gets thicker, circulation slows, and tissues swell, all of which can make foot numbness worse. If you're reaching for coffee, soda, or alcohol more than water throughout the day, your nerves are paying the price. Try switching it up. Herbal teas, cucumber water, or even warm lemon water can help flush your system and gently support nerve health. And finally, let's not forget the power of spices, not just for flavor, but for healing. Ginger, turmeric, garlic, and cinnamon are all natural anti-inflammatories. They support circulation, calm nerve inflammation, and even help regulate blood sugar. A pinch in your soup, sprinkled on roasted veggies, or brewed into tea can quietly support your healing every single day. Here's the truth: you don't need a perfect diet to feel better. You just need a few smart changes, done consistently. A small swap here, an extra glass of water there. These steps build up, and over time, they can make a powerful difference in how your body feels and functions. Because healing your nerves isn't just possible, it's within reach. One thoughtful plate at a time. But before we finish, there's one last thing you need to know. Even with the right foods, there's a hidden danger that could still be working against you every day, and it has nothing to do with what's on your plate. Let's talk about that next dot now. Before we wrap up, there's one last piece of the puzzle we absolutely have to talk about. Because even if you eat perfectly, even if you avoid every food trigger and load your plate with all the right nutrients, your nerves may still be under attack. And the culprit? Sitting. That's right. Something as simple as sitting too long can quietly work against all the progress you're trying to make. When we sit for long periods, whether we're watching TV, reading, scrolling through our phones, or just relaxing, our circulation slows dramatically. Blood flow to the legs and feet drops, muscles stiffen, and those nerves we've worked so hard to nourish, they start to suffocate, starved of oxygen and nutrients. The signs might seem small at first. A cold toe. Here, a little tingling when you stand up. A strange numbness that disappears as quickly as it came. But these aren't just random annoyances. They're early warnings, your body's way of saying, hey, I need movement. And here's the tough truth. Many people ignore these signals. They shrug them off as just part of getting older. But not you, not anymore. Because now you know the full story. You understand how food affects your nerves. You've seen how inflammation hides in everyday vegetables. You've learned how your body is constantly communicating through numbness, tingling, and discomfort. And now you're ready to take the next step. Because here's the exciting part. Movement, not medication, might be the missing piece your body needs. We're not talking about hours in the gym or intense workouts. What we're about to show you is simple, gentle, something you can do right in your living room with no equipment, no stress, and just 5 minutes a day. In our next video, we'll walk you through a short science-backed routine designed to reawaken your nerves, boost blood flow to your legs and feet, and help restore the feeling you thought was gone for good. Because feeling better isn't about doing everything all at once. It's about doing the right things consistently. So don't stop now. Your journey to healthier, stronger, more connected feet is just getting started. Click to watch the next video, and let's take those first 5 minutes together.